Hello, food lovers, and welcome to Amara's Kitchen. I'm your host, Amara, your guide to creating mouth-watering dishes without even turning on an oven. Whether you're in your dorm room, living the RV life, or just want to beat the heat, we've got you covered with the most innovative, simple, and delicious recipes. Today, we have a fantastic lineup of oven-free delights that will amaze your taste buds. We'll start with our flavorful garlic bread, and then we're gonna make some pasta from scratch to show you how easy it is. And then we're going to end it off with chocolate covered Oreos. So get your favorite utensils and let's get cooking. Alright, to start off, we're going to have to make some garlic bread. For garlic bread, you're going to need a stick of butter, about 4 cloves of garlic, some parsley, and bread. And you can use this with cheese or without. I like to use cheese. So to start, you're gonna have to soften your butter up just a little bit. I put it in the microwave because I'm very impatient. I'm just gonna put it in there for about 30 seconds. So the microwave isn't turning on. But while that is doing its thing, we're gonna mince our garlic. So you just gotta put your garlic in your little squishy thingy and squish it down so you get some nice garlic coming out. Thank you, Mr. Gray. And then you're going to want to take the extra skin out because that's gross and just cut it like that. You can use as much garlic as you want. I prefer about 4 because I like my things extra garlicky. And as my mom always says, there's never too much garlic. So, yeah. This is my favorite part. I like watching it come out of the thing. It's very fun. And then our last clove. Oops. Okay. All done. So now that our garlic is all mixed up, we just take our butter out and add in our garlic. Now that your garlic's all added in, you're gonna wanna just mash it around until it's like spreadable. This is the most difficult process, but you got it. So you want the butter and the garlic to be evenly mixed, so it's garlic butter instead of just butter and garlic. So, yep, just mix it up. And then this part is completely optional, but I like to add in a little bit of parsley so it just has some green in there. Make it more colorful, you know? So this should be good. It doesn't have to be completely mixed. So it should be fine just like that. Next you're gonna need is your loaf of bread. Either French or Italian. I prefer Italian. And this is too big for just me to eat. So I cut it in half and then cut it in half again the long way. Make sure you don't cut your finger like I just did. And then add a little bit of butter to your bread. Just like this. You can add as much or as little as you want, but I think you should add more so you know it's actually tasting like garlic. So you just spread that on. And you can make another one if you would like to. I think I'm gonna. I typically make one with cheese and one without, so you can just see how you're feeling. So spread the butter all over it. And once the butter is just evenly spread, you can take your cheese, or not, and sprinkle a lot on there. This is mozzarella cheese, my personal favorite. I think it gives it that flavor that you really are looking for. So, that should be good. I'm going to make one without. Then you're going to put it in your toaster oven at 400 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. I usually just do for 10. And when it's done, it should be golden brown. That is how you make your homemade garlic bread, and I'll show you the finished product at the end. Now we're going to cut to a commercial break, and we'll be right back to make the pasta.
Are you okay?
No, I got like no sleep last night.
I totally relate. I have this energy drink. It's an Alani Nut. Do you want to try it?
Yes, please. Wow, that's really good.
I know, right? And it has 200 milligrams of caffeine. It's actually the best energy drink ever.
First they're sour, then they're sweet. Treat that can't be beat. Sour Patch Kids.
Alright, now it is time to make homemade pasta. A lot of people don't realize how easy this is to actually make, but it is. So to start, you're going to need about 1 cup of flour. That should be enough to serve about 2 people. And that's perfect for me because I don't share my food. So about 2 cups. That's half of 1. 2 half cups. And then that's our other. Now we have our mountain of flour. You're going to want to bring it all together and make a well in the middle for you to put your eggs in. So this shouldn't take long. I already have my water boiling and my pasta sauce off to the side. So we're going to have to crack 2 eggs. And I typically put a little bit of olive oil in the middle just to add a little more flavor, and just a pinch of salt, again, to give it a little more flavor. So now with 2 eggs, you're going to want to crack them and just toss it in your well. You only need 2, so you should be able to just whip this up. So now with your 2 eggs and your flour, your olive oil and your salt, you're going to mix in your flour and start whisking it around. I typically just go in with my hands because I think it takes too long and it's actually faster to use your hands. So, just mixing it around until it gets slightly doughy. And then you're going to go in with your hands. So, it looks like it's too wet, and we need to add just a little more flour, which is completely fine. So get it off of your hands as best as you can. And just grab some more flour. You don't want to use a lot because then your pasta will start to taste like flour. And, that's not really fun. So mix it all up until it starts to get into a dough form. It is going to try to stick to your hands, but that's just because, your body temperature is just a little warm. But that's okay. If you roll your hands together, it should be able to just slide right off like that. Simple, nice and easy. And then you just slowly knead your dough and your flour and your eggs together. And eventually, it'll make a dough. Like this. Your dough should look something like this, without the mess on your hands, of course. And you'll know when it's ready if you poke on it, it can maintain its shape. So this is completely ready because when I poke on it, it bounces back. So you're going to want to put this in a bowl for 30 minutes and then put the bowl in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. This is what it should look like once you are done. Some nice dough. I like to cut it into fourths because it is too hard to roll it all out at one time. So I cut 4 just into fourths. Okay. Just like that. And I'm actually going to wash off my hands for a quick second so I can properly do this. Okay. So to start, you're going to want your rolling pin and just roll it out. So you should want to roll it out until the thickness, so you can see your hand kind of through it. And add just more flour as you go so it doesn't stick to your tools or to your hands. But again, you don't want it to taste just like flour. So, yeah, gotta be very careful. Okay, now, roll this out. Flip it over. Roll it out a little more. Again, this should only be enough for about one person, so it's not going to be a lot. And because it's already refrigerated, that means it had time to dry, so you can just throw this in the pot instantly. So you should put it in boiling water for about 2 minutes is how long I usually do it for. So once it is all kneaded and spread out, perfect. Just like this. You're going to want to take your pizza cutter and just slice it like so. So you can really do anything you want with it. I like to make little shapes. I'm not the best at it, but it's kind of fun. So you can just do regular old spaghetti, like little strings like this, and put it to the side. Again, it has to be flat. So about this thick should be good, and this long. And just set that aside for a minute while you cut up the rest of your pasta. Oops. Put that right there. So, I don't really like spaghetti because that means I have to cut it up because it's just too long, in my opinion. So, you just gotta make it. So I just make mine a little shorter. So it's like the son of spaghetti. Not quite spaghetti, but it's there. Again, you can just make shapes. It's kind of like playing with Play-Doh. You can knead it and make any kind of shape you would like. Okay. So now with our spaghetti all done, you're going to want to put it into the boiling water. And you can just drop it in. Nice and simple. You're going to want your spaghetti to be separated though, so it doesn't stick together like it is right now. So just drop it into your water. And again, only 2 minutes until it should be done. It sinks to the bottom. It's not like regular box pasta, but that's okay. That's what it's supposed to do. And just keep it mixing. So now we're going to cut to a commercial break, and we'll be right back, and I'll show you how to make your chocolate-covered Oreos.
EOS Lotion, 4-hour moisture body lotion. 7 nourishing oils and butters. EOS Evolution of Smooth.
If you ever start to bicker, just eat a Snicker. You don't need those anymore. Don't bicker, eat a Snicker, sold at your
And
local
welcome back. Now I'm going to show you how to make your chocolate-covered Oreos. This recipe is pretty simple and very easy to just whip together. So you're going to want a bowl. In any sort of chocolate, I'm using Hershey's chocolate chips. And you want to fill that bowl depending on how many you want. I'm going to try to make more than one, so I'm going to use all of the Hershey Kisses. And you're just going to open up your microwave and put it in there for about a minute. Okay. So while you're doing that, I'm using a mold. You don't have to, though. So we're opening up our Oreos. And you're going to need, I think I'm only going to make 3. I don't know if I have enough time to make more than that. So while your microwave is going, you can check on the rest of your recipes that you've made. It looks like my garlic bread is completely done. I just don't know how to work this thing, so it might just stay in there. I can go in with my hands. Just put it right there. And just put it on a napkin or a plate for it to dry. Okay. So your Hershey Kisses should be almost done. You gotta take it out to mix every now and then. If I had my fork, it would be really more simple, but unfortunately I don't. So I'm just gonna take this whisk, which is too big for this bowl, but that's okay. And you're just gonna mix it up because you don't want the chocolate to burn at the bottom, because that would be no fun. You're just gonna add it in for maybe another 30 seconds. Yes, so the microwave again is not working. So, we're just having a little bit of a problem, and that's perfectly fine. So, I think I can let that open again. And maybe we could put it on the burner with the boiling water? No? That's not a good idea. Don't do that. So, this garlic bread looks great, by the way. So this is the one without cheese, and then with cheese. Without, and with it. So, I don't really know what to do now. I think we can start plating our pasta if someone would like to pass me that plate right there with the smiley spoon. All right. A lot of help from our teacher, Mr. Cray. Thank you, Mr. Cray. So we also don't have a strainer. We did not come prepared for this. But you can just take your pasta out. There's your noodle. And just plop it down onto your plate. It's gonna be hot, but it's all right. Just let it cool down a little bit. So it's like fishing. You gotta like fish for your pasta. That's a big noodle right there. Oh, our microwave has turned on. Wonderful. So we don't need this boiling water anymore, so I'm just gonna turn that off. And just, get this pasta out. So it looks like this is all the pasta I have. Then you just want to take your pasta sauce and drizzle just a little bit on top. I'm not a huge fan, so I would rather do none, but my peers like it. So I'm making this for them. You're welcome. Now, your garlic bread and your other garlic bread. And that's your Italian meal. But now, we're gonna move on to the Oreos, and hopefully it works this time. So, oh, it is hot. All right. So, now with your chocolate, mix it all up and add it to the bottom of your molds, like this. And then place just one Oreo on top and smush it down. Don't push it all the way to the bottom because then you'll have Oreo showing. And then add just a little chocolate on top. And then make sure you have chocolate on the sides or else you'll have these weird gaps. And we don't want that. So just like this. And then I typically put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes to ensure that nothing will spill and that it's completely frozen. So we're just gonna let that sit. And that was our completed meal. Thank you for watching and subscribe.